don't get to the root of the fact that we're killing each other at a higher rate than any other race. It is self-hatred amongst us, I believe, that we can do that. That my mom's cousin, coming from the church parking lot, and guess who stuck her up and robbed her at gunpoint? A black man.
I'm not debating. And the irony about this was that it's not that I didn't know how to debate, it's that I just chose not to debate. And I was dealing with people who are deeply affected by indoctrination and by self-hatred.
I thought they were going to culinary art school the way they were cooking Amanda Seales on that Jubilee show. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com, TatumStore.com, so make sure you check out our store. Put capital with an A-L, capital 20 to get 20% off. Get you one of these shirts today. Support what we're doing at the Capitol building. When I say support, meaning wear your support. And so you can show these leftists that it is appropriate and it's reasonable for us to protect the Capitol and make it safe again. So get you one of these shirts today, 20% off. And also we have a whole bunch of other bundles that we're doing. So go on and visit TatumStore.com. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. Amanda Seales got cooked. Okay, we all saw that. At first I thought it was a cooking show. I thought they were going to culinary art school the way they were cooking Amanda Seales on that Jubilee show. And of course, I'm not just saying this because I don't like Amanda Seales, which is true. I really don't like the way she presents herself. I don't like her arguments. I don't know her as a person, but she seems insufferable. However, she did get cooked. Her audience is acting as if she did a good job. Now, she responded to the cooking session, and I'll play that clip here in a minute, but I didn't have a chance to play everybody that cooked her. And I think that there were so many people that had such an incredible take on conservative values in comparison to the liberal nut job, which Amanda Seales really is. So I want to play two clips. They're not going to be long. I want to play two clips of a young lady and another young man that literally cooked her even more. And then I want to play her response to it. And then I want to show you guys the responses from two of the individuals who actually went on the show and given their reaction to who she really was in person behind the scenes. So I think you guys are going to be entertained by all of this. But let's first start with the clip of the young lady who did a little bit of cooking.
So I think I'm coming from a place, and I guess my issue is having had my biological father murdered by a black man, having had my cousin shot in the head by a black man. We can talk numbers and statistics and what the people are doing and what the white man is doing and all that, but at the end of the day, I see when my family lives on the south side of Chicago, and I think you and I both can attest to this, and I'm not saying that there are not other factors, but we know that we kill each other at a disproportionate rate than any other race. Now, why we do that and why 6,000 to 9,000 black men are going to be homicided or killed or whatever by the end of the year annually by other black men, whereas the likelihood of a black man being killed by a white police officer is less than 150 per year, we know that we kill each other at a higher rate. So I'm not debating that there are not factors at play, but because I've lived the experience as a black woman losing my father to be murdered by a black man walking down the street.
I'm sorry to hear that, by the way.
No worries, thank you. But walking down the street in inner cities and different things, knowing that it's more likely that my own brother will rob and rape me than a white man or a white officer, we got to be real.
What's your proximity to white men in the south side of Chicago? Are there even white men around to rob and rape you at the same rate that there are black men?
There are white men around.
At the same rate?
There wasn't a lot of black people in there, but then that doesn't justify the fact that we're destroying each other. So even if we get to the root, like
we can agree on that,
okay, because I feel like a lot of times liberals will argue like, well,
I'm not
the
a
white
liberal.
people are killing
I am
people.
I'm not a liberal.
Okay, well, I will say that people that sometimes have your stance that are against conservatives, maybe, they have this claim that they're making up the numbers. We know that we do that to each other. So I want to get to the root of the issue. Why are we killing each other? I think the root of the issue is we've lost our values and we've lost our resilience as black people. We sit there and we talk about what the white man did and we talk about slavery and everything like that, but we have no self-accountability and say, you know what, at the end of the day, that is my black grandmother, that is my black sister, you are my black sister, and you know that a black man is more likely to rob you or commit some type of crime against you, and that's what we need to get down to the issue of. And like you were talking about earlier, like, hey, well, what's going on? You know, what do you think the answer is to one of the brothers that were speaking? I think it's the breakdown of the family. I think, like he said, because of our poor choices, and what happens is we look at domestic violence, for example. When domestic violence, women or men are even attacked, what is the first thing we say? It's like, you know what? It's not your what? It's not your fault. So that's what we do. We hold on to this narrative that, well, it's not our fault and the issues in our community, they're not our fault, and the white man needs to give us something. The old white lady down the street is looking at me and I don't know why she got braids in her hair. And we focus on all these other stupid things that don't matter. We don't get to the root of the fact that we're killing each other at a higher rate than any other race. It is self-hatred amongst us, I believe, that we can do that. That my mom's cousin, coming from the church parking lot, spot, and guess who stuck her up and robbed her at gunpoint? A black man.
I need you to get to the point,
like,
so
my
I can
point
respond.
is that no, and I'm not trying to be funny, unless like you said, we're gonna keep it respectful.
Yeah, but you're monopolizing the whole conversation.
I'm
and
not
we're
trying. Okay, I'm
able
gonna let
to
you speak, but let's not.
I thought she had a lot of incredible things to say, and I think she make a valid point. Like, why don't we take accountability and say, no, it's our responsibility for our communities to be better. It's our responsibility to reinvest in our communities. It's our responsibility that we're teaching our young people to hate each other. We don't have to kill each other at the rate in which other people are, because white people kill each other at about 80%, and we kill each other like 98%. And we kill more white people twice as much as white people kill black people in this modern era. So why is that? Let's take accountability. Let's take some type of inventory. Just like at your own house, you got to say, as a father, if things are not going right in my house, what am I doing? How can I be a better father? How can I be of assistance to my wife? How can I be a better dad to my children? How can I do X, Y, Z? It's an accountability thing. Now, there's another video for a young man, I think, did the same thing. And these are incredible. I can't wait to get to her response so you can see what she said about it.
Look at rap. Look at what we're glorifying.
You're right.
We're glorifying violence.
Who's we? Wait, who's we? Who's we? Who's
the black community.
Who controls the
black community?
Who controls the distribution of these sources of media?
And who takes it in?
And
who takes it in?
Listen, if you're okay, so let me put it in this context. If I have a company, right, and you guys are my employees, and I determine what you get to eat every day, that's also going to determine how you exist in this company, right? Like if you come to work and I say the only thing you can eat is processed foods and fried foods, and you're not going to get to have the best vegetables, etc. What's that going to affect? Your health. That's going to affect your ability to operate, etc. This is how the United States operates. There's a lot of us that don't want to admit that as much as accountable as we want to be, all of our brains also don't operate the same way. Some of us are much more apt to be indoctrinated than others. That's a fact. There is a 1% of people that knows this. There's a whole show called Mad Men that's about advertising, etc. And if we don't acknowledge multiple things at the same time, then we simply cannot stop it. We can be as accountable as we want to be. And I hope that if you're right, because I hope you're right, I wish that it was a situation where if black people could just be accountable, then nothing else would matter. But unfortunately, that hasn't been the case, because we have seen when we have Black Wall Street in Tulsa and we have Black Wall Street in Durham, that when we actually do hold our own and build our own communities, they will still come and run it down.
Again, no accountability. What do you mean? I wish it was true that we built our. They still burn it down. They didn't burn down Black Harlem. They did have a race conflict in Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but that was a mutual combatant situation where white people ended up just beating black people. Allegedly, there was an issue on an elevator that turned into a conflict between black and white people. Black people fired the first shots, killed several white people. Then white people came from other areas into Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it became a race riot. During the race riot, a lot of black businesses got destroyed, but they built it all back a year or two later. And so there's no justification to say that it was permanently destroyed. Black people did have an opportunity to build their stuff back. Black people do have an opportunity to do and take accountability for their issues today. This whole victim mentality. It's a system in place. If I had a business, the employees, if I only let you eat this, no, that's not true. This country is built on capitalism. So that means the consumer desires a product, and some people facilitate the product for the consumer. They don't make you listen to rap music. People love that type of music. For instance, like I can't make people eat vegan yogurt. If they don't want vegan yogurt, I can't force vegan yogurt down people's throats. Now, there can be a propaganda arm of me spending billions of dollars to advertise vegan yogurt, and maybe some people will be susceptible of using it. But bro, let's keep it real. That's not rap music. That is an outlet for black people to either continue down the path of destruction or exacerbate or explain the path of destruction that they're already doing, which means that a person is either expressing what is going on in the community in form of rap, and then people are consuming it and regurgitating it back and forth. It's like a cycle. I see drama, I promote drama, I consume drama, I create drama, I promote drama, consume it, create it. And all the people at the top of the industry is doing is saying, I have the financial means to put Lil Yachty out there and make Lil Yachty go as far as the people want him to go. They like you, Lil Yachty. I can pay for Lil Yachty to get on a stage in a concert, and I'll make money off of people loving him. Let's put this in perspective. Like, we know that people of our color perpetuate this violent theology, but we're not the biggest consumers of the violent theology, to be quite honest. White people consume it, but they don't have to be connected to it. That's the biggest difference. They listen to it. It's entertainment to them. When it comes to black people, it's black people's real life, things that black people are going through. And if we continue to perpetuate this idea, we're exacerbating what we come through, elevating where we come through, giving a presentation to white people who listen to the music more that this is the reality that we live, and it's not true. All right, let's listen to Amanda Seales respond to this.
By now, many of y'all have seen my episode of Surrounded, one black radical surrounded by 20 black conservatives. And I know everybody who watched it has many thoughts. Someone in the comments did say, wow, it's a shock that Amanda Seales didn't know how to debate. And at first I was offended by that. And I was like, what video did you watch? And then I actually watched the whole video last night with the SEAL Squad. And I realized, oh yeah, I'm not debating. And the irony about this was that it's not that I didn't know how to debate, it's that I just chose not to debate. Because the claims that I stated are not up for debate. Reparations are deserved for everyone who is the descendant of chattel slavery, as well as a number of other injustices, particularly in the United States, that have been supplanted upon Black Americans. Black on black crime is not real. It is a concept that was created to further the ideology that black people are somehow less civil, that we are savage, that we are less human, and thus require more policing, needing to be sequestered. The continued proliferation of black on black crime as an actual real concept is actually black on black crime. It is the weaponizing of black people against black people. Systemic racism is not up for debate. It is what it is. And lastly, no. Black conservatism does not make any concessions or room or care for the working class. Actually, the concept of black conservatives is literally an oxymoron. When I walked into that room and I saw the people that were there and how many of them were young people, I didn't want to debate them. And I was dealing with people who are deeply affected by indoctrination and by self-hatred. I wanted to show them the ways in which they had been misled to being able to show up for themselves and for their people. And of course, they're only a portion of this project. The true audience is not who you're debating, but who's watching and trying to get information and concepts to them that are being actively impeded. And that felt far more valuable than just being right.
I don't know what's worse, her actual performance at this debate or challenge or conversation, or her response to it. She's doubling down on stupidity. You know, this is one thing that's very, it could be, well, I'm past the point of being a baby, you know, like a baby Christian. I'm past the point of being a baby conservative, right? I'm sick of these people. Like, I think some of these people will never grow up. But there are people that are on the fence that if they heard Amanda Seales debate and they heard the other black conservatives, they may be like, oh, wait a minute, they actually do make points. Or maybe some people agree with Amanda Seales. But the fact that Amanda Seales cannot see through the bull effery that she's propagated in her mind is beyond me. I mean, just think about this for a minute. She literally, out of all of those conversations, she took nothing from it. She don't think there's anywhere where she can improve in what she's saying. And she claims that every black person from chattel slavery deserves reparations. Well, you know, you guys have been waiting for reparations for hundreds of years now. Like, at what point are we going to say, we need to now find a different path than expecting this check to come out of nowhere that's going to somehow revive our existence? Because even the thought of reparations for black people as some substantive, a gift that will elevate black people out of all of the things, or even some of the things that black people are going through, is a complete foolish myth. Because wealth is not cash. And let me explain what I'm saying. Just because you have $100,000 in your bank account does not make you $100,000 richer. And the reason I say that is because a person can go right now with $100,000. And if we gave every black person $100,000, that'd be like $40 trillion. So, you know, I think I did the math on this. Maybe it's not 40 trillion, maybe it's 4 trillion. If you give every black person $100,000, you go and buy a new car. That's $30,000 to $50,000 right there. If you are like a pretty sizable amount of black people, you probably gonna go buy a nice car. So you can buy a Mercedes or a Bentley or one of these high-end cars. I mean, you just spent half of your $100,000 right there. If you're not the person that will spend money like that, what are you gonna do? Buy a house? If you don't buy a house, you're not managing your $100,000 properly. So you have to invest in something. You either, as a black person, for reparations to make sense, every black person needs to have a financial advisor that invests their $100,000 that they get from the government. Because being a consumer with $100,000 is not going to help you do anything greater than where you already are presently at. You give some money to your family members, you go to a nice vacation, you done spent $30,000-$40,000 right there. That's in the first 30 days you didn't have the money. And $100,000, like I said to every black person, like $4 trillion. We can't even afford to do that anyway if we tried. So regardless of that, she's completely a nut. So there's two other clips that I want to show you guys if you want to stay tuned. ABL responds to his experience arguing with Amanda Seales or doing a debate with Amanda Seales. And the other young man, I don't know his name. If y'all find his name, put it in the comment section. But he also explains, a little bit about his experience with Amanda Seales. And I think it was pretty interesting.
The truth is, in my Amanda Seales debate, she was the worst Jubilee surprise guest probably that they had. She was the stereotypical black woman. She was angry. She was nasty. She threatened to have people removed off. There was one black conservative who's known who was removed because she yelled at people several times. She threatened about 5 or 6 times. She was a diva. 6 or 7 times she threatened to leave. Now, I'm thankful for the opportunity. Thankful for getting to sit down with her. I respect her for what she's accomplished. But as a person, I have no respect for her. She was very disrespectful to me because I believe I destroyed her in my first to start off, and she didn't want to talk to me again. And I wouldn't want to talk to me because she can't beat me in a debate. A real debate where she's not yelling, she could not beat me because the facts are on my side. I don't care how much they lie and try to act like they aren't. I love black people and I love myself. But, if you're black and you have a difference in opinion in the black community, you don't love yourself, and you're, because we're the only race they can't have. But that's the truth. She was the worst Jubilee guest celebrity person there was, and none of the black conservatives liked her at the end. Like Candace Owens, Jordan Peterson, all the conservative, respectful. They treated other people's opinion with respect, not her.
So this is me on the episode of Jubilee, 20 Black Conservatives versus 1 Black Radical, featuring Amanda Seales. Now, a lot of y'all are asking me, hey, ABL, how was your experience? How was Amanda Seales? All this, that, and the third. First things first, shout out to Jubilee. They're very, very professional. We shot this back in June of this year, 2025, in Los Angeles. So it was a Hollywood style environment, and it was very well choreographed as far as the format. But what was not choreographed was our responses. Whatever you heard came straight from us. There was no coaching from Jubilee at all. And shout out to everybody who I met when I was there. Very, very impressive. That was the highlight for me. Everybody who I met, all the conservatives, because 10 years ago, this wouldn't have been a thing. This many of us on TV getting exposure, it wouldn't have been a thing. And it most certainly was unheard of back in 2002 when I was 18 years old. So shout out to everybody who I met when I was there. Amazing. Now, Amanda Seales. What was my experience like with her? First thing first, let's go back. She was actually a child star on Nickelodeon, if you didn't know, and her moniker back then was Amanda Diva. And when she came into this set, I saw some of the diva energy immediately. First of all, you got a big, huge security guard. I'm 6'3". This guy is way above me, dwarfing me. And she had like a cup of coffee and an iPad for some reason. We could not have our phones, but she had an iPad. I don't understand why, but I saw the diva energy immediately. And her tactic throughout the entire time was, if she got back into a corner and they got a little bit heated with the back and forth, she would threaten to leave. She was doing that at the very beginning. If you saw the clip, she was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it. So right then she was trying to set boundaries to say, okay, don't interrupt me, don't cut me off, but she would cut you off and interrupt you and it'd be totally fine. So it was hypocritical. Also, there was a point where she was trying to say, oh, well, since you're an immigrant or the son of immigrants, you can't speak on Black American issues. Meanwhile, her mom is from Grenada. So it was like, you're the exact thing you're trying to say can't talk about Black American issues, yet here you are talking about Black American issues. And then back to the whole diva thing. The reason why they probably call her a radical versus a liberal is because she probably requested that. There were certain times where we would say, well, we as conservatives don't do what you guys do over there on the left. I'm not a leftist, I'm not a liberal. It's like, okay, whatever you want to call it. Radical, leftist, liberal, all the same thing. You're talking about Gaza, trying to help them. We don't care about that. We care about us here in the US of A. So she wasn't a terrible person. I tried to be nice and have some kind of decent communication with her. I gave her a fist bump at one point. So she wasn't terrible, but just being able to talk to her and having conversations about these kind of things, it was pretty insufferable. But I hope y'all enjoyed it.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I thought it was very interesting. Amanda Seales is a nut job, and she's the epitome of what I think Black people should overcome. Right? We shouldn't be like Amanda Seales. We shouldn't have that victim mentality. You cannot wait the rest of your life hoping and praying for a miracle to happen. You can't waste your life waiting and saying, I'm gonna stand still until the government finally do me right. I'm gonna stay here until the systemic racism finally ends. First of all, it don't exist, so you're gonna be waiting for the rest of your life and you're not gonna be productive. So Amanda Seales is the epitome of what Black people shouldn't be. Comment in the comment section, let me know what you think about it. Also join my Substack. Tatum Report on Substack. Also follow the Tatum Report YouTube channel. We're trying to rebuild Tatum Report. I really want to recreate what we had before. Some of you guys are new to me, so you are new to follow me, so you don't know what we did. We had Tatum Report running. We had articles written. We had writers. We had everything. We were employing so many people. I think I employed about 20 people just with the Tatum Report at the time. And, you know, in business, it didn't work out, man. You know, times got rough. I had to divert money from Tatum Report to build other endeavors. And now I want to bring it back. And I think we can. I think it's a necessary time in history. I want to get a lot of Black conservatives who have voices to be able to express themselves on the Tatum Report platform and others. But I do want to just make this something again. So go and support by following the Tatum Report on YouTube. You'll find that it's linked to my channel's homepage. You can also search it, thetatumreport.com, thetatumreport.com. All right, love you guys. See you on the next one.